So my name is Caleb Jordan. I'm a senior at Boston High School, and this is my second year doing E3. Um, so my journey through E3 brought me through um, kind of 5 different steps, I guess you could call them, 5 different periods. So it all started out with E3. I joined 2 years ago when Julie Cunningham and Diane were running it. And, I really got invested into what it was all about. It took a little bit of um, talking to my parents to let me do it, but in the end, it was a really good program. So then that sort of led into Catching Sunshine Snapshots, which is my photography, which then led to E-Moon Photography, which I worked with her and I've talked to her, and she's given a lot of help. Her name's Emily Moon, and then that leads to O Photography, who was my mentor last year, and she taught me quite a bit about the business side of photography and what like branding is all about. And then it leads to now, which is Christina Gracianu's photography, and I think this part has been the best part because it was a lot of it's been a lot of hands-on stuff, and she lets me have a lot of creative freedom, and that's something that you really have to have when you're doing photography, because you have to get in there and mess things up and try different things to actually get it right. So first off, photography. One of the mini projects that I did with her was light painting, and so that is I learned quite a bit about like long exposures and all of that, and I printed this larger print for my open class photography for 4-H last year. Through Christina Gracianu, I did a studio shoot with my friends Kate Bendel and Sophia Deginakis, and that was really eye-opening to the types of different lighting for studios and all of that, and posing within studios, because I've never done studio shooting. I've always done like outdoor shoots and whatnot. And then Catching Sunshine Snapshots. I've taken thousands of pictures within the last 2 years of doing it. These are only a couple. The far left one of the 2 girls with the color, I collaborated with Kate Bendel, who was a former E3 student, and we did a color shoot last year at the end of the school year. This is Kate here. Also during my time through E3, I did my first wedding, which you can see in this bottom picture, as well as Alana Travis, who I've been friends with since elementary school. I've taken plenty of pictures of her, and for 2 years in a row, I've had my picture in the American Morgan Horse Association calendar. And so E3 in general, the skills that I've learned include WordPress. WordPress has really been a tool for me for like expressing my ideas and thoughts into something that's comprehensible and something that I can share with plenty of people. I've had 10,000 plus reads and views over the last 2 years, especially because of the education posts that I've written. On Instagram, I've started a 365-day photo challenge, and for my photography page, I've had 427 likes within about the 2 years. So what's next? I'll be traveling to Seinäjoki, Finland, which is this small red dot right there, through the Rotary International Youth Exchange for 10 months. And I've already met my family. It's a 5-person family. with an older sister, a younger brother, and a younger sister. I've been talking to them quite a bit lately, and I already feel like at home with them. So I learn best through hands-on and getting myself in there and just taking risks rather than sitting in a classroom, because I realized that people can't really learn the best when they are reading from a textbook or trying to read a book. It really has to be you have to be able to really connect that to something personal, because that way it really sticks with you and resonates for a long time on why it's significant. And that sort of leads into how E3 is different from regular schooling, because regular schooling you're always sitting at a desk or always having to follow the different curriculums and stuff, but with E3 you get to make your own curriculum, and you get to you don't have to follow the teacher's instructions because you are the teacher. Some of the highs and lows of your experience. So some of the highs has been like being able to like meet all of these people and networking with them, and having plenty of opportunities to volunteer at places like the the Maker Fair, and like talking to other people like Heather Goldstein with like
Heart Apothecary.
Heart Apothecary. And then some of the lows of my experience is that it's a lot of work. Like, you think that going into it is as your own like teacher and like your own set of like goals and whatnot, it'll be easy because you know how to attain them. But in reality, it isn't. It's really up to it all lands back on you, because you're the one that has to have the passion to like invest your time and really want to learn about new things and new techniques and anything really. E3 has changed my perspective on in school in general. It doesn't have to be something you don't like. It can be something that you love because you have the freedom to do what you want. And that's something that a lot of my peers don't understand, is that they don't have a say in their education, but in reality they do, because they have so many options. They just have to have the motivation to go out and to pursue them and to really learn and educate themselves, so they can say that they had a successful education. With working with two different mentors, the learning format for that has really helped me with how I think I do photography, I guess you can say. Everyone has a different style, and nobody can be the exact same as somebody else, but you can learn different techniques which can help that style, and that's something that really helped me like become confident in my photography, because before like E3 and all that, it was sort of a thing of like, well, my photography isn't the best, and so I don't know if it's good. And so really taking more and more pictures and working with other photographers and just trial and error really helps help me become confident in my photography and pretty much life in general. So going into E3 2 years ago, I think I wanted to be a psychologist or sociologist, and then that like changed plenty of times. I think at one point I wanted to be a flight attendant, but then I was like, well, I don't really want to fly with a bunch of like people. And so then it sort of went into like, well, maybe I'm gonna be a photographer because lots of people tell me like I'm good at photography. But then I'm like, I don't want to like always have to work for other people, and that's something that I really learned because you don't have to work for other people. It can be working for yourself and doing something that you love. And so right now I'm looking at the Academy of Art University in San Francisco through the fashion styling or visual merchandising degrees. And so a little about like the visual merchandising. It's sort of like taking a picture but with like physical things that people see in the window. And so that really makes me intrigued by that and kind of want to do that. So me growing personally, my confidence has raised exponentially. My ideas of education has changed. One of the biggest things that I believe that I learned from E3 is that you shouldn't worry about what other people think, and you should just say what you think, but put a filter on it a little bit, and think before you speak is pretty much it. And don't really regret what you say, because once it's out there, and you can't really do anything about it. So, questions?
So tell us about this book with Kate on the cover there.
So, about a year ago, a little over a year ago, I took pictures of Kate for her Barbizon model talent agency, and then over the year I took I don't know how many shoots, quite a few, and I have thousands of pictures of her. So for her graduation gift, I told her that I'd make her a book of bloopers. And so on the outside it looks like, oh, it's a nice book of Kate, but inside it's pretty much bloopers of just Kate and funny pictures.
Oh, cool.
And so this is
What a
something that
treasure.
like talks about like not taking life too seriously, because like yeah, you can be serious and all that, but like it really matters on what's in the inside of having fun and whatnot.
What a nice gift, Caleb. Now explain, if you can, the senior project that you're working on with Christina.
So the senior project that I'm doing is going to be called Kaleidoscope Eyes. I'm getting 101 people to take pictures of them. It's inspiring and interesting people that I've met over the years, and I'm going to use 2 pictures of each person, a headshot and a full body, and I'm having them get a original quote on what sums up like their personality. I think I remember one of the quotes that was submitted is "Pretty is as pretty does." That was somebody who I've met this past year, and she said that her mom always told her that. And so it's all about storytelling and like being able to share the stories of different people of different ages and different genders and everything, and sharing that with people that may not view it as the same.
And how will you publish that?
I'm hoping to make it into a big photo book if I have the money to do it.
All right, and I'm honored to be asked to be in that, so I look forward to seeing you on Monday.
And is that an idea, you mentioned at one point in the project that you really learned the value of networking through E3 and with meeting all these different people? Is that an idea, did the project come from that realization that like this network is cool, I should do something with it? Or where did the idea for the project come from, if not from there?
I think it more came from, it was like half networking, but then half of like, what have I learned over these past 11 years of school? Because I'm really involved in school and like the district and everything else, and I sort of wanted to sum that up into something comprehensible of learning different things and from different people over the past 11 years because they've had an impact on me.
Thank you.
Christina, any?
So, you said that you decided you wanted to go into photography because people told you your photos were good. You shouldn't do everything you're good at. So, is that still why you do it, or have you found something more in doing it?
I found something more in doing it of being able to learn about somebody personally because a lot of people that I take pictures of haven't had pictures done before, and so being able to like talk to them and learn about what they sort of want in their pictures also leads to other conversations about what they want to do in the future and why they like what they're doing and all of that. And so I think I found that through photography, it's not about taking the picture; it's more about learning about the person personally.
So then I have a follow-up question, because all of the pictures you've shown us are pictures of people, and you just give us this lovely answer about what you've learned from photography. And did I think I hear you say that you're thinking about going to San Francisco to learn to take pictures of things so you don't have to work with people?
Kind of.
Which is okay. I'm
Which
just
is
sort of
okay.
wondering, like, where does that come from?
Well, Caleb, you do have some photos of some things.
Yeah. I guess I'm very sociable in terms of like people that I know rather than people that I don't know, and so I think working with people throughout these past couple of years has really helped me gain knowledge of like communicating with people and whatnot. But then there's also the side of me that needs to work on like working by myself and learning myself rather than through other people.
No, that's totally okay.
Very introspective.
But I think there's some interesting realizations that you're going through about what your talents are, and it gets to your comment about you don't necessarily do everything that you're good at.